I have a second project installing the weBoost cellular booster, which I have here. All the reviews say it works. Obviously, if you don't have a signal, it can't boost nothing. But it's a lot of the reviews say good things about it when you install it and use it properly. So that's set up to install. The power cord that came with it installs directly into the lighter. I don't want to do that. I want to hardwire it in. They do make an accessory that you can purchase separately online that hardwires it in. I'm sorry, but I'm going to do it myself. I've got an inline fuse I'm going to attach to this and just hardwire it in to my system and put it actually on a switched lead, so it turns on with the car because it doesn't have an on-off switch. And just for convenience and easier access, I have pulled the tray off that goes here, pulled the molding off that attaches here so I can lift up the carpet. As you can see, I've disconnected the seat, the 4 bolts on the seat for 2 reasons. Gain access to run cables up here easier. Sorry, through here and up here, the antenna cables for the radios, and here I've had to pull off this panel here. My only caution, these are all pull clips in these different locations except for this piece right here. So you want to pull underneath, pull all these clips, reach up, pull the clips from here, under here, and then this little piece, it slides in, so you're going to want to slide that panel out. Otherwise, you're going to pull and possibly break that piece. So this is a 2021 GMC Sierra AT4 model with the center console. Just be aware of that little bit right there. There's a piece of molding here, clips in 2 locations, just pops up. I removed the paneling there, which also goes up to this quarter panel in this corner. Again, just to provide all the access. Oh, and then lastly, this is, well, I think there's some clips up here as well. Yep, there's a clip there. I'll pull this down to access the wires underneath there to hide those. The weBoost antenna I already installed. It actually comes with 2 different lengths, but they recommend if you're going to use the spring not to run it the 2 lengths together, so I went with the longer length of the 2. I've got the wire here. It's going to run along here. Once I get some wire loom, I'm going to hide it up, run it down the same spot there, and it comes out, and that's the cable for it right here underneath, again coming out of that same spot underneath the body of the cab. I'm going to end up building a box here where I'm going to mount the weBoost. So the antenna is going to stay here to hook up, but the power we're going to run down the line through here up into this area, and actually this 50 amp fuse here, there's another spade just to the left of it. That's actually a switched power, so that's where I'm going to hook up the weBoost, because it doesn't, like I said earlier, doesn't have an on-off switch. So I'm going to connect it to that spade attachment right there. So again, more of that installation to come. So I've just wired the power and ground for the weBoost. Again, I mentioned that this is a switched 12 volt here. I put an inline fuse, a blade fuse here. It's going to run down the quarter panel. It's grounded there to the ground. I've got another ground I need to add, so I haven't tightened that up yet. Ran it down the underneath so it's protected through there. Excuse me. continues through here, and then I've run it underneath this little support just to protect it a little bit, and popped it out through here. I'm going to end up making the attachment here, a temporary attachment, and I'm going to build a box underneath for its final attachment. So that's the power for the weBoost. And next thing, I need to run the interior antenna up near the center console somewhere. So I need to figure out where I want to put that. So if you figured me out yet, I don't like gadgets and stuff, unfactory looking vehicles. I tried to hide as much as possible. I just got off the phone with weBoost, and here's their internal antenna. And they do recommend that this is out in the open and not obstructed and underneath. I was hoping to hide this somewhere under the center console, but they're saying that it might inhibit the signal being blocked. So what I figured out is the cup holder, the rubber pops out, and I'm going to put a slight hole in the bottom here. I'm going to mount this on the inside and run that wire down through this hole right here that's existing. Run it underneath the center console, underneath the seat, and then back down the door sill, down the side to the back where the unit's going to be. So then this is going to go back in, and literally what you're going to see is that's going to be sitting right there, kind of in this little niche here. So I think that's pretty clean. I think that's the best I can do with what's going on without drilling holes in the plastic or anything. I'm putting a slight little hole in the rubber in the corner in the bottom here, and this has a bunch of stuff in it typically anyway, so I think that'll end up being a clean installation. I'll show you guys when I finish up. Okay, just drilled a hole so the wire can go through. I'll put a slight hole in the rubber cup holder here too, and then again mount it to the inside here and push this back in, and it should be pretty concealed. This has been an absolute friggin' nightmare. So I was trying to run the wire from the internal antenna through the cup holder. Everywhere behind here is solid. Couldn't get anything up close to that area. I end up drilling a hole right here. Small hole, really didn't get much access. I thought drilling a bigger hole in this area might help, but again, absolutely, well, that's going the wrong direction. But everything's solid behind there. I pushed the wire, I actually found it. The wire popped up, it folded over itself, and I found it in here. Literally took a dental tool, fished it where I got the tip, grabbed it, and slightly pushed it through where it was enough where I could grab it with my fingers to pull it through. Now, I've drilled a hole right... Sorry, trying to hold the flashlight camera. Right here. So I'm going to run it through here, into here, down through here somewhere, and hopefully I can fish it through underneath. There should be enough space in this area to fish it through underneath. Then I'll run it through the carpet underneath the seat, and then back to the quad cab in the back. But literally over an hour and a half trying to fish this through. Finally got it. So relieved. A lot of F-bombs. I'll relieve you from hearing those. But I'll show after I run it through and bring it over into this space here. I'll shoot a little bit of video and show that. A little bit of a boner move. They specifically say mounting side. I started doing it on the opposite side, so thankfully this didn't adhere too strongly. Okay, now that I have it on the right side, the mounting side, we'll pull the cables through. And then squeeze that on there. We'll see over time how the adhesion sticky tape does in the Las Vegas heat, but we're in the fall now, so it should last at least through the... it's not sticking very well. I'll get maybe some better stuff. Okay, so that's that. Now I'll put it back into the truck. Okay, there it is, installed in the cup holder. Again, I think that's pretty clean. And as you can see, I ran it out the one hole into another down that side, trying to keep it away from the power and ground from the ham radio and GRMS Midland radio. I'll run it under the carpet here. The antennas wires are underneath there, and then again run it back to the back for the temporary installment before I build the box. So a lot of F-bombs, but finally got it. Somewhat patience prevailed, but there it is. What's left to do? Just hook everything up. Here's the final installation of the weBoost. So there's the internal antenna. Told you about the nightmare that happened in here, but everything got cleaned up. It's behind the panel that comes along here underneath, and then into the quarter panel here, up to the fuse box for the power. The antenna runs underneath the seat over here. Along the side, underneath, and here's where I have it temporary mounted. Again, I'm going to build a box in here for the final installation, so it's temporarily right here. Wires all over the place, it annoys me. But the antenna comes down through the bottom of the cab there, underneath, through the panel here, up to the wire loom, runs across to the weBoost antenna, and that's the installation.